Hello and welcome back to episode 2 of our photography episode in the I'll Do the Talking series. We've got Julianne Whyte here from her photography business, and we're going to chat and dive straight in. And I hope you've checked out episode 1 to see where we're up to in this 2-part series. Another sort of tradition in the show is to ask our guests, dead or alive, future or fiction or whatever, make it up if you want, but if you could photograph, who would it be?
It would be Stevie Nicks. I've got Stevie Nicks tattooed on me. It would be Stevie Nicks.
I noticed on your website you mentioned Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. So.
Aye. Love her. Absolutely love her. So she could marry a tree. She could marry it and I'll photograph it.
Okay.
No problem.
Interesting.
No problem. Don't care if she marry anybody, a human or anything. I would just her. I just do her. I'll marry her. I mean, no problem. I'll set up the camera. We'll get that done. But Stevie Nicks 100%. And you know one thing that I love, and I've seen it happening at weddings, and I want it to happen more is, right? You know how they do like a father-daughter dance?
Yeah.
See, instead just doing like a parent dance where they all, because they all kind of join in anyway, right? But using Landslide as the music for Fleetwood Mac. If you listen to the words, it is the most beautiful song.
Right.
It's all about your parents and all that, and it's very, very beautiful. And a few people have used it, and I'm like, I hope that happens more.
I was going to say, has any Fleetwood Mac songs been used in ceremonies, aisles and stuff like that? And because you've got such a love for it, that must well you up.
Aye. So one of them never told me they had Landslide as their second song, and she just looked at me when it came on, and I was like, this is my song. She's like, I know. That was pure green because I'd got Stevie Nicks tickets that day as well, and I was like, I get Stevie Nicks
It was a
tickets.
big day for you then.
It was really, really big. And the thing was, it was only because I only got tickets because I didn't get them the first time, but obviously she then rescheduled and somebody couldn't go. So that's the only reason I got them.
We're George and Caitlin, a father and daughter team that know weddings inside out. My dad's a Humanist wedding celebrant, known as George the Humanist.
And Caitlin's a wedding content creator from her business, Insta Love Story, who, in 2022, I had the honour of walking her down the aisle and then marrying her off.
On each episode of I'll Do the Talking, we're sharing real wedding advice and chatting to industry guests to help plan the day that's right for you.
From ceremonies, gestures and traditions, from flowers, photos, food and family dramas, we'll walk you through it all.
So if you're planning your big day or just love a good wedding story, hit subscribe and join us down the aisle and beyond.
Top 3 tips, if you like, for couples listening that they'll want to keep in mind when choosing a photographer or working with a photographer and getting the best out of the day.
Right. So when working with a photographer and booking a photographer, you shouldn't just think about the fact that you've got to love the images and all that sort of stuff. You have got to love them, right? But you have got to trust that the backup service is good, because you're paying the majority of time for the backup service that you don't know is actually there. So somebody could be £200 a difference for somebody else, but only back up once.
Right.
And somebody is £200 dearer, but they back up twice. You don't know that.
Right, yep.
And you might just go, well, I'm going with this one because they're £200 cheaper. And you have no idea the backup system. There might not even be one.
Right.
Do your research.
Okay.
Don't be scared to ask how are their images looked after it. How's the backup system? Because you can't just rely on it. If you then ask a question, you can then hold them accountable if there isn't the right backup system done, right? So ask about the backup system. Nobody has ever asked me in my life about it, and it's the most important question in my eyes, right?
Yeah. But you've got it covered.
Yes, it's all covered. It's all good. If you are struggling to pick between photographers, I always recommend making a folder in your phone without any of the names on the photographs, because obviously some people have their name on it.
Yeah.
Try and find ones that don't have their name, and have like a mixture, maybe 3 of each photographer's work, and both look at it. And if you're drawn to the same images, it speaks volumes.
Right.
And you're not then looking at a name of a photographer and going, oh, I want name because of this, I want name because of that. You need to let the images talk to you. Look at them, what ones are you drawn to? If you're not even drawn to the same, back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
Like, just
Is that important?
sometimes you might you'll pick 2 of the same photographer but different images, and they're like, right, well, that's the same photographer and 2 different images. You've picked that one, I've picked that one. Speaks volumes. Don't be scared to ask for a full gallery. Don't be scared to ask for it. Some do it, some don't. It's their preference. I don't mind giving a full gallery. Like, I'll just obviously check with the couple beforehand that they're all right with it. Like, their gallery being shown. Due to obviously kids, that sort of stuff.
Right.
People may be in it that not allowed to be in it. So
As
you
if
double check
someone's
that.
inquiring, can
they
they
want to
see a full gallery? Right, okay.
I mean, it's important, I think. You want to know how they tell a story. Like, I had somebody that we wanted to book Sea Hydro. She's really worried about the weather, which I've already explained. It's probably the best venues for it, right?
Yeah.
You've got that beautiful inside bit. So I'd tell her all that anyway. I says, I tell you what, I'm going to send you a gallery. She never asked for it. I says, I'll send you a gallery a day that rained on and off, and we ran onto the beach every time that it didn't rain. And she looked at it and she went, you cannot tell that that's not raining.
You steal the moment,
I'm
don't
like,
you?
it's just, I want you to see that was actually one of the hardest weather-wise days, and there's the gallery for it.
Yeah.
So she was like, sold. If that's how we tell a story, that's how we do it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
if I can put your mind at ease, I will. So if I've got a gallery that time of year at your venue, then that's the best time to give it. Because I also had one with Engine Works and she was really worried about the light. She was like, I'm so worried about the light in Engine Works. I says, well, I'll send you a full gallery. There you go. That is how the light is. And
The
she's
time
like
of
that.
year's
Oh my
really
God.
important for
Yeah,
people to think
absolutely.
about that as well,
Yep.
isn't it?
Aye, so if I sent you summer Engine Works, like the light shining on the window is going to be different. Like, so it's all that sort of stuff. So if I can put your mind at ease in any way by showing you something, then aye. Why should you have sleepless nights thinking, oh my God, my photos are going to be so dark? It's quite dark in there, blah, blah, blah. Again, it matters what you use equipment-wise as well to make sure that works. So, like, maybe I could get it a certain light and somebody else couldn't. Because, again, you'll notice with your phones, you can use your phone, you'll use your phone, and I'll use my phone. And the three photos will not look the same.
Yeah.
Right? It's the exact same with your cameras. Because some people will be like, I really love the colours. And I'm like, they don't even shoot in the same camera as that person. There's some people, they all shoot different. So, like, if I'm looking for a second shooter, I'd be looking for a Sony second shooter. Because then I'm not going to need to worry when I'm editing the images. Because if I then take a Nikon second shooter, like, the colours will be different. So when I then put my preset on it, there's going to be a lot of tweaking to make it look like the same as the Sony one shot. So it is very much getting it for the photographer that you're actually shooting your wedding.
Drawn to as well, back to that.
Because if I send
seen a
you
few
an Engine
pictures.
Works one and it's no me doing your wedding, it might not be the light that you're going to get because they might shoot in a completely different camera that shows a different colour. And then, so it's important to make sure that you're just doing your research. It is all you have left. All you have left. And I say it all the time, like, your cake's gone, like, your sparkly dance flare, like, it's away at 12 o'clock that night. You'll never see it again. When you look at the money spent on these things, photography is so precious. And I try and say, like, I always used to try and explain the pricing in it to the best of my ability to make people understand it. But the way I've got now is, see if some people don't, I'm like, and loads of people don't want to spend a lot, and that's absolutely fine. But I just always think, like, well, they just don't value photos the same way I do. And that's fine. But wait till it's all you've got left. And then you realise, right, okay. Because I had a girl recently who, our wee papa was at the wedding, and he'd done a first look, and the loveliest man ever. Like, it was about, must have been about 8 weeks ago now. And he passed away, and when she put it on, I was like so broke. I was like so upset because I was obviously there, seeing him.
Yeah.
I got loads of lovely photos of him and his wife together because they were so glam. And I'm like, come on, you two come out and we'll get a photo shoot. And like all the memories they've got, he came out to the dance floor at one point and gave her a big cuddle. And I says to her after it once, obviously she'd put it up, I says, I am so glad you have so many memories of him. And she says they could not have came at a better time. They couldn't have came at a better time. They literally got delivered and then a week later he had passed. And I'm like,
wow.
Like, you can't put a price on the moments.
It's moments like that like how quickly that she values that, but then again in it's 10 years and however many years forward, the photos, the videos, the content, the memories and actual things that you can see back and how many years to come is the bits that is the lasting part of the wedding day.
Absolutely.
So it's really important to make sure that you've got who fits you and represents you as a couple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really important.
And like the one thing that gets asked on my form is obviously, is there somebody really special to you that might not be family? Because some people are really close to somebody that's not their mum and dad and not the norm. So like, I'll often, if I turn up in the morning, I seem to get a lot more info than they give video. I don't know why. They just open up to me maybe a bit more. And I'll be like, that wee granny over there's everything to them. Like, and thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
Because then they'll make sure they're getting wee granny on the camera because she's so much to them and stuff. So a lot of the time with us, you find I'll get emails. Like I had one saying basically they'd found out like somebody didn't have much longer left to live and they didn't want to get married without them. That's when you put a massive thing in place and you go, this is why we do it. Because we now know like the value in these, like they're getting married because they want them to attend, but so you've got a massive thing on your shoulder as to you need to capture them in a way that they might never be captured again.
Yeah.
Do you know, like with all these family members. So that's when you put things in perspective and you look and you're so part of their day. Like me and Rory for RHB were at one and we both were like so involved and so part of it and we all knew the story and we still obviously I still ask about him to this day. Like the man, he's still here, so I'm so happy. But it's things like that. Like you need somebody to understand and come and go with you and be like, yes, of course, I'll change the date and move because we do want them to be there and we do want everybody to be there. So it's things like that.
You are such a big part of their day, so it's really nice to hear. You can absolutely tell, you know, the love that you have for your your couples and obviously how much they all love you back. And
did you actually see one of my first 360 Insta videos that went up? I'm at a door and I ring the doorbell and the guy's like, come in and I go, cheers, pal.
It sort of rings a bell, actually.
Does that, right? That was him. That was the guy that wasn't very well. And he was brilliant. He was such a great guy. And he married a woman from Blantyre, which is where I'm from. And he's like, you'll not get empty better in Blantyre people. I says, oh, I know. So we bonded for the minute. Aye, we were all day. And he's like, oh. And they give you a cuddle and everything. They love you so much. And that's what I want. Like, that's the relationship that I've got with them.
You end up feeling like family at the end of 100%. It, don't you? It's amazing.
And that's why arriving at a good time gives that feel.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going in going, right, I need to do the detail photographs now. Because see, if she's sitting having a chat with her granny, I'm going to be photographing that, no details. Because I'm not in a rush.
Exactly.
So I'm there all the time. Because loads of people be like, you know what, get the dress right now. And I'm like, why? It's going to take me a minute. Hi, I'm Julianne Whyte and I am sponsoring this episode of I'll Do the Talking for George and Caitlin. And it's been such a pleasure to be part of this episode. And all you need today to help them out a wee bit is like and subscribe and listen. And keep an eye out for new episodes because the suppliers, the people and the information you're going to gain for this is second to none. So subscribe.
There's how many open-legged kilt guys have you seen on the front row? You're like, stop, close your legs.
Do you know, I actually had a Humanist that had to stop it. No, stop it, but they were doing the shots, right? Like the shots that go out at ceremony, if you're doing that, right? And I was like, that, can you just say something? Because it's quite difficult because I've got 5 boys in the front row. Everything's out. And it's not that the sun was coming in the window, so it was literally shining on them.
Lighting them up like a Christmas tree.
And I'm just like that, right, when I'm here, I'm photographing it, so I'm going to edit them all out. But then I'd said to content, because content was there as well, I was like, listen, by the way, just so you know, she went, do you know, I wouldn't even have clocked that. And I'd have put it online. I says, this is the thing that people don't realise. See, when you're going through the editing, you need to look and make sure Janice in the background's not got a nipple out. Like, you can't just be going, here you go, online. You need to check it all. You're proper looking at it all, right? Like, because obviously, most men don't wear them. And obviously, there's a lot of women out there that have a wee boob slip and stuff. You just need to be careful. And people don't realise that. Like, I don't go, like, somebody could go, oh, I'm going to put this online because it's going to go viral and I want to be the first to put it on, but they didn't check that Janice stuck tits in. Like, do you know? It's things like that. You're like, right, no, it's too late. It's out there.
And the internet is sorted now, so you can't take our modesty back.
Absolutely. And, you know, what I say to some people, because obviously a lot of things that go viral are to do with kids, right?
Yeah.
A
Kids
lot
and
of the
dogs,
time. Yeah. But you need to be so careful with that because if you put somebody, say for instance, my wee girl's 11, right? 11-year-old on TikTok, right? Walking down the aisle and she does something and it goes viral, right? You have no idea what's happening in her school.
Oh, gosh.
You might have thought you were getting a nice wee viral TikTok and now she's getting bullied in school. It's not okay.
No.
So you have to check in with every single parent to make sure that it's okay that their kid is, if they're going online, online. And that's what I approached somebody before and I said, listen, I think this might end up online. How do you feel about it? And it wasn't just by me, it would have been by guests as well. Like loads of people are videoing it, right?
Yeah.
I says, I just want you aware that if that person or your wee boy or your wee girl is somebody that's not going to see this fit in a couple of days, can we just make sure that that doesn't happen?
Mm-hmm.
And I try and say it so that they can then let folk know that they think would put it online. Because obviously kids do mad things at weddings, do you know what I mean? But I'm like, if I give her a heads up that, so she knows maybe so-and-so's always wanting to put videos on, she might do it. And I'm like, but once it's out there, it's out there. And there's no going back. And if you've got children at school and stuff, you really don't know the dynamics. So you need to be careful.
TikTok.
Yes.
So
40,000
followers, I know.
whatever followers.
40,000 legends.
How did that happen?
Well, it was the weirdest thing was, right, where it all started for was another photo company phoned me and said, my dad's really ill and I can't make this wedding today, right? They were already there, but they were like, can you take over? I says, of course, no problem. Didn't even know them for Adam and Eve. I said, tell me where I need to be and when, and I'll be there. So I was there. Something that I do, well, what I started doing was I always liked to film on my phone because I felt like it was such a safety thing for me is to, like, if somebody walked down the aisle, right, and they never lifted their head, like, the full time, and then they come back to me about photos and say, listen, I've none of me walking with my head up. And I'm like, because you never. So I've got the proof there. So it became a wee safety thing for me when I done smoke bombs and stuff like that, making sure people were following protocol with my health and safety and what I was telling them today, so that nothing ever come back on me, right? So, because this wasn't my wedding, I was like, I'm going to film this on my phone because I don't know what's happening. I don't know who's editing it. And I would link, obviously, if they come back to me saying, listen, she's asking about this, I can say, oh, I've got it all, like a wee behind the scenes sort of thing. You can have a look for yourself as to how the day unfolded, right? So anyway, I arrived at ceremony, didn't know anything about the bridegroom, nothing, right? Got to the bottom of the aisle, put my phone on, and the bridesmaids walked down the aisle in black dresses, black silky dresses, and they were absolutely stunning. And one of them was crying coming down the aisle because the song that was on, which she didn't know what the song was going to be chosen, obviously, for the aisle. Right. She don't often really ask these things, but it was like one of her granny's songs, and her granny had no long passed away. So she was dead upset about it, right? I didn't know this because I didn't know the story behind it. I just thought she was greeting because she was a bridesmaid and buzzing about her pal getting married, right? So I put it on saying another bridesmaid's smashing her role, right? I wait in my bed. We think I had 3 followers. I wait in my bed like that. Nothing's happening here. Woke up in the morning and it was mental. Right. Absolutely mental. Like it was like 4 or 5 million. In the morning, the followers were insane. People were writing all that stuff on it, and it was in all different languages because it went on to all different, like, TikTok sort of algorithms. I'm having to then translate it all to go, what are these people saying? And everybody's like, black dresses, like, and this was the big thing. Everybody go, imagine wearing black dresses. Why is she crying? She wants this all to be about her. All that stuff. And I'm like, oh my God, right, I need to get in control here. Right? So then I found out the story, and then I obviously then updated it saying, listen, she's actually green because of this. Like,
because of the song?
Yes, So I was like, I need to find out what's actually going on here. I didn't expect it to go like that. I thought I'd get 3 or 4 links, and that is actually where TikTok started for. That is where it started for, and then obviously I got the bug for just always finding nice wee moments to put on there. The talking part of me going on and talking took a long time for me to build the courage up to do that. But once you get the support back and you get the people saying, oh, that helped me, you go, well, do you know what? See if it helped one, I'm happy. Yeah. So that's kind of where it came from, and the fact that it found me my kind of couples. I would often meet couples because they wanted to meet up in person, which is fine. But the majority of times I met couples, they never booked. Okay. So for my anxiety, I was like, this is hell. I just feel like, what am I saying? What am I doing? What's going on? Yeah. So when I put myself out there, not one person meets me now, and they all just book me. Yeah. Because they feel like they know me. Yeah. And they say, right, we're going to book you because we love you. We feel like we know you. We know your dogs. We know your rains. We know your husband. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. So... one, it saved a lot of meetings that I spent a lot of time doing.
Yeah,
A
same.
lot of wasted time, a lot of wasted phone calls with couples that weren't my couples. So when I put myself out there, I thought, well, one, this is time saving, and I'm getting the couples that are for me.
Yeah.
So it just kind of went for there. That's where it started.
When your couples have booked you now, see, because of like social media and actually interacting with them on social media, do you feel it has changed like your relationship with your couples? Do you feel like you get that wee bit more invested about the night out and they've got a new mug in their house, brilliant, they've updated their story, what's happening in their life?
Well, a wee secret to that is something that I've only started doing is following the couples, right? Before that, I never. And even when I do follow them now, I keep it to a minimum of me seeing what's going on. I might even mute them, right? And follow them just because I want to see what they're up to after the wedding, right? With Instagram, when you go onto Instagram and you look at somebody's grid, so if I went onto your grid, right, and you were my bride and you were using loads of filters, I'm going to be panicking thinking I'm never going to be able to make you happy because you're not happy with yourself going on there, like, and putting your own self out there. So if you're using certain filters and you're smoothing your face out a lot and stuff, I'll start thinking, how do I deliver a gallery she's going to love? So I don't even want to know what you look like. I can turn up in the day and it doesn't matter what you look like to me. It doesn't matter about anything about anything. You book me, you get what you get, and that is it, right?
Yeah.
I do not care what MD looks like. I don't want to go into a day thinking, oh my God, I've got an absolute stunning bride today. I'll open that door and you'll be who you are, and I'll photograph you in my light, in my eyes, and creativity wise. If I follow you on Instagram and I look at all these picture perfect photographs and you maybe don't look like that in person, I'm going to be thrown off and thinking, oh my God, Link, this doesn't look how it looks on her Instagram. But if she hates it, I don't need that anxiety. So I just leave it and I'm like, I'm not going to look at it. I'm just going to go for a fresh slate, take you as you are today, and I'll look in your grid tomorrow. And if you've got filters, you've got filters. But I have then done my full job without having to worry in my head that you're not going to link your work. Because how could I be my best self on the day?
But at the end of the day, they've booked you because of the persona that you've created, and as you say, that's what has evolved into from a bridesmaid walking down the aisle to a song into the kind of diary type stuff that you do. But it also goes back to what you told us in episode 1 of this series, where you said that you are there at that time in the morning and you're reading the room. You're just, and whoever's in the room, you'll read it and you'll just start getting into a zone. You know what you need to do, the box of stuff and all that kind of stuff you spoke to us earlier on. So what you called that earlier on in TikTok? The diary of a...
It was always diary of a wedding photographer. I've changed it to the unfiltered photographer now.
Do you feel that better suits what
like,
you're trying to achieve? Because TikTok's completely different from Instagram, isn't it? And same as mine as well.
I'm very unfiltered on it. So unfiltered and then I did the unfiltered bride podcast thing, the event.
I've seen that,
So when I did that, I was just kind of like, that is kind of me, and I'm unfiltered. That is, I don't want to go in here, and obviously I still get the comments. I get one saying, who done the voiceover for this? Margaret from Maryhill? And I could not stop laughing, right? So, see, the next day I was outside, right, and I was driving the Wains to school, and they were in the back, and I'd said something to somebody on the road, right, because obviously I had a bit of road rage. And the Wains were like, Mum, you can't say that. I says, I kind of Margaret from Maryhill today. Calm down, like. So I always reference it, and I'm like, no, that was Margaret from Maryhill. It said that was not me.
I don't know who that was.
It was Margaret from Maryhill. Yeah. So loads of people will come down on me on how I speak, and they'll be like, oh, the way you talk and all that is. So obviously I don't accept these comments, right? But that's why I thought if I put unfiltered, it's kind of there. It's kind of a wee cover to say, listen, you're coming in for a ride here. Like, you don't know what I'm going to say. Like, you really don't. So I thought that'll suit me. And then I still have my name as Diary, the wedding photographer, underneath it anyway. So it's there.
So you're saying what you do in the tin.
Yes, pretty much.
And people can see you. And I think that's a great thing to give opinions and stuff. And it's never meant to be rude. It's never meant to be... maybe it's a bit controversial now and then, maybe it is, but people, they know what they're getting.
A lot of people say I ruffle a lot of feathers, but what I'll always say is, call me out if you think I'm saying something wrong. or I'm lying, because nobody's ever tried to call me out on it, because I only ever speak plain, blunt truth. So nobody could ever say, you're lying. And if you're, prove it. Because I
But
promise
don't you
I
think,
just
though,
know
everything
it.
you've spoke about on the podcast with us, the word that is in my head is care. You care.
Oh, so much for my
And
couples.
that's, forget about all the stuff that's round about it. If, whether it was you or sort of another photographer, that's what you'd want them to be, surely.
Aye. You have to care, and my couples are absolutely everything to me. They always have been, they always will be. The way that I interact with them, I'm like, we are together so much in the day, and they're everything to me. And some people laugh and say, you get a certain type of couples, obviously, because they get to you. But I had a couple that came up from England to get married at Lochside. The full family came up from England, right? So they really know me. But they picked me because they found me on TikTok, and obviously I was always at Lochside, so they were like, it makes sense. We want somebody that's always there.
You know it
blah,
inside
blah,
out.
blah. And she was the shyest person ever, right? And see, when up in the morning, hair and makeup were like, she's here, she's arrived, and she was just sitting there all timid, and she was like that. That's it. You've needed Julianne, because she's the only one that's going to bring you,
pull you out
of there. Whereas I started to think, oh my God, am I too much for her? But again, it's reading the room and understanding who you've got round about you. And honestly, like, got to the point during the day, she would look at me and she's like, Julianne, just keep me away from everybody. I'm just quite happy to spend time and just us go about and take photos and stuff. And I was like, that is it.
So that's what you do.
Aye. Like,
And
it's
usually
matching the energy.
On the day, the people who would be ruffling feathers, as per se, would never actually probably be anybody in the wedding party. It's always an auntie or an uncle who goes, oh, because they don't know who you are, and also they're not in the pictures anyway, so what's the matter to them? This is, one of the kind of reasons why we wanted to, get your perspective and share that, is that people need that person. You know what you're seeing. You're at weddings all the time. Most people aren't at weddings all the time, and they're looking to us as suppliers for guidance on their day, and that's what we want to do. So thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom with us.
Problem.
And no, it's been fantastic. We've learned a lot. So thank you so much.
If you ever want me back, I am more than happy. I have got 100 stories to tell.
I'm sure there's 100 more to make.
Aye, absolutely.
And make sure to subscribe as well to catch any next episodes.
You are so welcome.
Thanks.